Good clapping. Burt Reynolds is here, guys. Let's do it again. Let's hear it. Smoking the Bandit, Deliverance, Boogie Nights, a host of other movies. The man was and is a bona fide movie star. What better movie for him to lead than Adam Rifkin's new film, The Last Movie Star? Before we get talking with Mr. Reynolds here, let's take a look at a trailer for the film.
Got to show you this.
What do you think?
Well, you're being honored. You'll be presented with a Lifetime Achievement Award. So what?
You told him I was his 24/7 driving slave for the entire weekend.
Look who the previous winners are. Robert De Niro, Jack Nicholson, and Clint Eastwood.
Oh, what?
Hi.
Mr. Edwards.
Yeah. You should see this rat hole.
You're there already. Just enjoy it.
What the hell is this?
This is the festival. Welcome to Nashville.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Edwards, I can't tell you how excited we are to have you here.
How are you?
Thank you for coming to the film festival. Let's get you over to the red carpet.
Why the hell are you even here?
Because Clint and Jack and Bobby De Niro won.
You are the only one stupid enough to show up.
There are things I've done.
Where's Vic?
He left.
Vic! Sloshed.
Yo, bang.
Bang. Oh my God!
Take back.
I'm tired of feeling like a has-been.
The #1 box office star for 5 years in a row.
6.
6, I'm sorry.
Better choices.
Take the next exit.
I take some different roads.
Where are you guys?
He's on some weird memory tour or something.
God, here you are. I can't believe it.
Is it true that you doubled Burt Lancaster?
I did double somebody on that picture. I had to fall off a horse in a dress.
That's why you took to get here.
An audience will forgive a shitty act 2 if you can wow in act 3.
The Hollywood Critics Association awarded you Best Newcomer of the Year.
That's the only time I ever agreed with the critics.
Burt Reynolds, everybody.
Thank you, thank you.
Mr. Reynolds, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on the film.
Burt, thank you.
I'll call you Burt. All right. Congratulations on the film. It's a funny film, but it's also one of reflection. It can be somber at times. I was wondering what made you want to do that and really reflect on your own career so much.
I heard the director was going to kill himself if I didn't do it. No,
You had an obligation.
I did hear that he wouldn't do the film if I didn't do it. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I believe it because I want to. And he's a very nice man, and he did a good job. He wrote a nice script. Very touching script, I think.
There's some moments in the film where your character, who is not you, but in many ways it's kind of alluded to it being you, has these really tender reflections on what it was like to be a movie star and some regrets. Is that a feeling that you share?
Right now. Yes, I do have those feelings. Yeah. I've had those feelings, and I hope I live long enough to have more. You know, it's you know, you hope when you start out as an actor that you're going to grow old gracefully and do all these things that will be around for a while. But nothing ever turns out the way you want it to, but it does turn out good. The best part about it is the people. The other actors that I've worked with are wonderful, wonderful people that I've met and worked with. And I love John Voight, you know, so much. He's a dear friend. And that picture changed everything for me.
Deliverance.
Yeah.
It's an incredible film. Was that a film that you knew going into it? It was going to be the way that it was going to turn out that way, or was that a tough shoot?
It was not a tough decision for me, but it was a tough decision for John, I think, to go with me, because it was very similar to where my career is now as it is in film. And I had some very emotional moments in the film, and I had no idea that I could still shed a tear. I thought I'd done all that.
In this film?
No, in life.
Oh, in life. Was it hard for you to get to a place as an actor to shed a tear, or did you think about your own life while you were doing it?
No, I just played the moment, and it happened, yeah.
So when Adam Rifkin brings this script to you and he shows you in the script, you know, there are scenes where you're inserted in your old movies.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about that?
Well, I thought, first of all, I thought he was very clever the way he did it. The editing is wonderful. Yeah. And it's so well done. You know how you can always see a line down the middle or something that says this is not really happening. But you can't see anything but two people, and it's me in both shots, you know, and I'm talking to me. Wonderful fellow. Wonderful fellow is me. I have to explain everything to this crowd.
Performing alongside that other, I mean, really, you were performing alongside one of the great actors.
Yes, I thought so.
Real charming guy.
Charming as hell.
One of the aspects of the film is really what it feels like to be called a legend, to be given a Lifetime Achievement Award and what that means and feels like. I imagine you've been there before. I hesitated to refer to you as a legend in my intro because I don't think it's sometimes the nicest way to refer to somebody, but I'm sure someone has before with you. What does it feel like to you?
I don't know how to answer that other than how to not sound like I studied humility with. I'm not going to name her. But I think it was, for me, a legend is, I think John Voight is a legend. After Midnight Cowboy, he could have that label.
You're a legend after Deliverance and Smokey and a host of wonderful performances that you've given over the course of your career.
Well, thank you. I don't know about that, but thank you.
In the film, Vic, your character started as a stuntman. Did you start as a stuntman too? Right?
Yes, I did.
And then you had a wonderful friendship with a stuntman.
This is a stuntman.
Yeah. You just made a documentary about a year or two ago.
Yes.
Your close friend that directed you in a number of films. What was the stunt trade like when you first started? And did you ever plan to act, or were you?
No, I thought all actors were, you know, I won't say the word, but
Even Brando?
Brando, I was not. He was not very friendly with me.
Really?
No, because he, Rita Moreno, who I love dearly, was a close friend of him, and he would call her every night and ask about me and all these things. But yet he didn't. He was very rude to me when I met him.
You think he was threatened by you?
God, he couldn't be threatened by me. No, I think it was just that I looked a little bit like him, and I was a century younger.
What was the first film that you did stunt work on?
First picture I did something like that? It was a Western. It was there was a wonderful director named Gene Yarborough who did a whole mess of what we would call B television. And I really liked him, and he liked me, and so everything he did, I practically had a job on it. But the first thing I did was a stagecoach, jump from a stagecoach to a horse, all that kind of stuff.
How long did it take you to be able to do that well, do it right?
You got to do it right.
First time?
First time,
There's no
otherwise
practice
you ain't
jump?
gonna get another time. No, I didn't have any problem with it.
What was your, what do you remember as your breakthrough role?
Deliverance.
Deliverance was your
Yeah.
breakthrough role.
Yeah.
Yeah. And working with John and Ned.
And John Borman, who was
Foreman, man, yeah.
wonderful. And we had many fun experiences, lifelong, you know. there was. I used to work at a place called Ghost Town in North Carolina, and I'd get shot, fall off the roof, and land in little pebbles. And I don't know what I got, $200 a week or something. And the head of the place said, I got to find a guy who's got a real authentic Southern accent. He doesn't have to be very bright. We just have to throw him off the roof, you know. I said, you're right. That's what I do. But I said, I do know a guy, and let me see if I can get a hold of him. So I found out where he was, and his name was Cowboy Coward. And I said, Cowboy, I got a job for you. You come down here and, you know, read for this guy. And he said, remember that I can't read. I said, I know that, Cowboy, but I'll tell you the line, and then you just say it the way you want to. So he came in, and he looked perfect, you know, for the part. And he had no teeth, which was, you know, actors will do anything. I mean, they'll take the teeth out if you want them, even if they don't need pulling. But his were gone. So they got him new teeth, and he was so happy. He thought he looked like John Gavin afterwards. And I say John Gavin because he's the most handsome man in the world, and I hate him for it. But anyway, he came in, and I said, Cowboy, the first line is, get over there against that tree and take your pants down. And he said, get over against that sapling and take your panties down. And John said, you got the part. So he got up and he started walking towards the door. And I said, Cowboy, wait a minute. I got to tell you something. This is a part of a guy who rapes another man. And he said, that's all right. I've done a lot worse things than that. So that was it. He had the part.
John Borman knew right away.
Right away,
Yeah.
that was it.
Got it.
And his ad-libs were, well, I hear them all the time from people like, got a mighty pretty mouth. That was an ad-lib, you know. All the things he said.
One of the I think lines in the film that really struck me was your character Vic, and you know, I really think there's a thin line maybe between you and Vic, and that was the intention behind the film. Is he's talking about really never having apologized over the course of his career, and finally, the course of his life, and finally reaching a place where he feels like he can apologize or he can think about the things that he may regret. Do you remember a moment in your life or in your career where you reached that place?
Never had to apologize? Every day.
Every day?
Well, I mean, it seems like every day. I mean, I don't apologize for things that happen, and most of the time they didn't happen. Yeah. That's the thing that I get a little bit miffed about, you know. PO'd, as we say in service. Why anybody would have to apologize for something they didn't do, that's not right.
I had nothing specific in mind with that.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. What was done or not done, I don't know. I just think over the course of any life, you reach a point where you look back and think about the,
Well, these were usually something to do with dating somebody or not dating somebody or that kind of stuff.
Who cares about that?
I do.
So you remember who you dated and who you care about who you dated.
I definitely remember that. I mean, I'm old, but I've been very lucky. I've met some wonderful ladies.
Who's the one that got away?
Sally. Yeah.
How'd you let that? Do you remember how you let that slip out of your hands?
Stupidity.
That's usually what we do, right?
Yeah.
That's what the guys do.
No, I was just an idiot. I was working all the time, and suddenly you're on another movie with a lovely leading lady, and you go to dinner, and they make a big deal out of it, and she gets upset about it. And I said we just went to dinner, which was true, but those kind of things.
Did you ever reconcile with Sally later on in life? Talk?
10, 12 times.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. No, I think now we're probably really good friends.
I've always wondered about one of my favorite moments of your career that the film didn't touch on was your cover that you posed for that time. The wonderful cover.
Esquire?
Oh.
Is that what it was?
Not Esquire.
Well, Esquire was the cover. That was when
that was the cover. I'm sorry.
I was looking
the spread.
down, going.
Huh? The spread.
Oh, the spread was. Well, a spread is not a cover.
Hey, man, I interview people. I don't run magazines.
Well, all of a sudden now, amen. Amen.
Mr. Reynolds.
Yes, sir.
What is your reflection at this point on that the infamous photo shoot?
Shouldn't have done it.
Shouldn't have done it?
Nah, I'm stupid.
I bet it was fun, though.
Nothing fun about it. It was cold. I just should have done it. I mean, at the time, as I remember, I knew they were going to ask me to do it, so I had gotten pretty fortified with Smirnoff, and not a general, but the drink. And so I was pretty well, I was ready,
Loose.
I was loose. And, no. Are you all right? Yeah, because you were going like that, and I was worried about you.
Did you regret it immediately afterwards, or did it take some time to come to regret it?
No, I regretted it that day,
Oh, that day.
Yeah. I just thought this is stupid, but they probably won't use it, and they did,
One of the things that I love about this film is that I think it really captures a side of you that we've never seen, and I'm wondering if that was one of the reasons that you wanted to do it, and what it's like acting for you at this point.
Well,
Still like it?
Do I like it?
Yeah.
Some of it, I like it very much. I like the director. I like the script. I love Chevy, but we just had small scenes.
Is he a friend of yours outside of the? Did you know him outside of the movie?
I didn't, but now we are going to do a film together, so
that's great.
it'll be fun. The picture was. It's I'm not driving a hot car and running around with chasing trucks and things, and it was just it was a very different part for me. Very the guy was vulnerable, and he no one has seen me play that kind of vulnerability.
I mean, yeah, I don't think I've seen you play any kind of vulnerability like that since probably a couple of scenes in Boogie Nights, maybe the moment in Boogie Nights where you realize that this work is going to be your masterpiece, or when you throw Mark Wahlberg out. Those are the last times I think I've seen you be this vulnerable.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
Was that something that you didn't have as much interest in as an actor for some time, or people just didn't approach you to do?
Oh, he really approached. I mean, met him at the Bel Air Hotel and had dinner and drinks and drinks and drinks and drinks, and finally I said, "Oh, okay." And then we had to decide how far we were going to go with it, And he said, "I'll tell you what. If you feel uncomfortable, we won't shoot." And you can't refuse somebody that acts like that.
Did you ever feel uncomfortable? Was there anything that you ended up having to?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
What were some of the things that made you uncomfortable?
It was cold.
Mostly.
It's not your best work, you know, when you're cold and nude. So I said, I'm not comfortable here with this. And so he said, well, what can I do to make you comfortable? I said, move my chair over there. And he did. So it was nice, you know.
Yeah. When you meet with the director after having done this for so long, what is the first thing that you want to hear, that you look for?
We're going to make this movie great. Not him.
Yeah.
Not me. We. And everybody has to understand when you make a movie that there's so many people that make a movie. I mean, look at us now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of guys in here. I'm sure some ladies in some places. There's one. That are helping us make this. And you know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I yell at them all the time. Get it done, Gutnums. You were always known as, I think, one of the greatest talk show guests that there was. You've always been, people talk about you as one of the great talk show guests. What was your philosophy when you were doing talk shows, when you were doing interviews? What is it now?
Truth is always the best way to go. And have fun if you can. Hopefully get a smile or two out of the host, and don't let them get you into a corner where you don't want to talk about something. Just come right out and say, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, I've always been fascinated by people when I interview them, when they get back into a corner and don't just say, I don't want to talk about that.
Yes.
Totally fine. I always thought it would be totally fine to do that.
It is, but people think that they'll be thought of as, I don't know, somebody that is a chicken shit, or chicken, just by saying I don't want to talk about that. You can say that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm curious, you've been acting you've been in Hollywood for quite some time now, a fair amount of time. What do you remember as the hardest portion of your career, the hardest years?
Well, it's very hard in the beginning because I was very shy. And the combination of being shy and being an actor is a strange combination. And the first thing I did was a television series, and I didn't get along at all with the co-star. And so that wasn't a happy time. So I did that for 2.5 years, and I just left. And then everything started changing. And I came back here and did a series, which I loved doing. It was called Hawk, and we did it at night. We shot it all at night, never in the daytime. When the sun came up, we quit. And but it was a good show. It didn't make it, but it didn't make it because it was bad. It didn't make it because it was just kind of hard to find. The network does that. I don't know why they do that, but they move you from this time slot to another time slot to another time slot, and people can't find you. But I did Gunsmoke, which then I realized that it can be done with class, and the people in the show can all like each other. And it was just a great experience for me. And Milburn Stone, who was Doc, was a sage, wonderful man who said to me, get the hell off the show because you're a movie actor. And I said, I am? And he said, yeah. So I left the show, which was hard to do because I was making good money and I liked everybody. But I did a few movies and they were right. I was suddenly making movies.
You became one of the biggest movie stars in the world.
For a while, yeah.
What was that period of time like? Was that just fun the whole time?
Not the whole time, but it was fun. It was fun when it was fun, and you know, sometimes you read a script. The script is great, but it doesn't turn out the way you hoped it would, and that's when you get interested in directing. Everybody says, "Oh God, he wants to direct." Soon he's going to want to produce, direct. But it's only natural that you would want to direct if you see a scene that you had high hopes for being shot down because the camera's in the wrong place, or they're concentrating on something else that you hoped they wouldn't.
What did you think about what happens when you're a part of a movie and it doesn't come out the way that you wanted it to, but it still gets an incredible amount of acclaim?
Like Boogie Nights.
Sure.
I was surprised it got the acclaim it got.
Have you revisited it?
No.
Really?
I haven't visited it for the first time.
You've never seen it?
No.
You've never seen Boogie Nights?
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, I mean, I did it.
So you don't watch any of your movies?
Well, I don't look at the 100-yard dash I won either.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
I ran it and won it.
You feel that way? With Boogie Nights, you ran it, you won it, it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't good, they wouldn't have said so. Not that many people wouldn't have said it was good. And some pretty tough reviewers who had not been that kind to me suddenly made a double reverse and liked my work.
Let's get some questions from our audience. What do we got around here? Who's got right here?
Hi, Burt. Sorry, I'm in awe right now. You're such a legend and icon. You kind of mentioned there's similarities between you and the character you play, Vic. I wanted to ask that if a director came to you and said, Burt, we want to make a movie about your life, is there any actor that you would want to play you in the movie, and why?
I don't quite understand. I'm sorry. It's not you. It's me. He offers me a part, and I don't like it or I love it.
What actor would you want to play you in a movie, right?
George Clooney. I think he's very smart, very handsome, and very bright, and seems to be having, which I think is really important, he seems to be having a good time.
Probably can't jump from a stagecoach to a horse, though, I bet.
I don't know. He jumps around pretty good, I hear.
Next question.
Hi. Our next question is an online question. Stephanie wants to know, despite being so successful and so much in the public eye, is there a fun fact you can share about yourself that even your biggest fans might not know?
You want me to talk about what people don't know about?
About you.
Not a chance.
Here's a I guess a simple, a soft way of putting it. Do you have a hobby that people don't know that you have that you love?
I guess you can't. Peeping Tom, that would be.
I keep it easy for you, Burt.
No, I don't have anything. I don't think that I have anything that I would be ashamed of or don't want the public to know about. But
do you have a favorite movie of yours that you've done? No, it sounds like you don't watch any of them.
I really don't. I really don't. I don't. I would really feel funny because somebody go, hey, they suddenly will all be looking at me, and I'd be caught, you know. Or I could go in, I guess I could go in makeup or something, but the easiest thing is that you have a relationship with the producer, and they'll let you have a screening for yourself. And I did that with one film, and I was pleased with it, but I never did it again.
What movie was that you did it with?
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights. So you have seen Boogie Nights.
No, I saw the first 15 minutes, and then I didn't need to see anymore because I'm not in it that much anymore.
Let's hear the last question. Who do we have right here?
First of all, it's an honor to even talk to you.
Thank you.
So we're visiting from Florida, although we're big Clemson fans. What do you think of the new FSU coach, and how do you think they're going to do this year?
Well, we don't know, do we? I mean, he just got the job, and I'm impressed with his recruiting style. He's done a good job, but he came in very late. And I really liked the guy he replaced. I mean, we were good friends, and he's gone to Texas and oil money. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. When he plays at Clemson, we'll find out how good they are.
When?
That's right.
You're a big college football fan?
I love college football because I'm not a big fan of pro football, but college, yeah, I love it.
Why college over pro football?
Because college is real. Pro is sometimes things are handled different ways.
Too much money flowing through it?
When you got that much money, and I mean millions of dollars, there's going to be some shady things happen.
That's right. Burt, The Last Movie Star is a wonderful film. I'm so glad you and Adam Rifkin put it together. When can people check it out? How can people check it out?
How do you check it out?
Yeah.
They go see it.
All right. You want to give me all right. Burt Reynolds, everybody. Let's hear it.